Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Samantha and this is my studio. Today we are painting a blue moth. I found this Pinterest picture of a blue moth, obvi, with some yellow and golden color on his wings. I'm not sure if it was AI. I don't think it was. It looked pretty good to be AI. I try not to use AI references because AI is wrong and I don't want to paint wrong. Also, look at me. I finally fixed the date and time at the top there. Yes, it's 2:30 in the morning. No, I don't want to hear it because it's even later now. But whatever. So I'm just going in with the lightest shade of blue. It's mostly water with a little bit of blue pigment. Because if you guys don't know, with watercolor, the more water you add, the more diluted of a color you get. The more paint you add, the more opaque of a color you get. Look at me, I know my terms. Anyway, like I said, I've never painted a moth before. Did I say that? I don't know. I've never painted a moth before. If you didn't know, now you know. Here I am sketching in his little tiny arm. The color I went in with was a little too light at first, but it was fine because I put his arm in the wrong position. Anyway, throughout this process, there is a lot of back and forth of me like laying out base colors, trying to figure out the shape of the wings. When my hand goes away for a minute, it's because I got distracted by Bob's Burgers or Hell's Kitchen, whatever I was watching at the time. I watch quite a few things. Mostly I watch YouTube, but like Hell's Kitchen is my jam, and I cannot wait for the 23rd. That's when season 24's finale is, and I'm Team Jada all the way. I think she's been the most consistent throughout this competition, and I think she's got it in the bag as long as she is really good at running the pass on open on her night. Like, I think she has it. If she like completely bombs that, I think Ellie could win, but I really think Jada's gonna win. So Team Jada, you go, girl. Here I am painting in some more blues. They're just gonna get darker and darker. You're gonna see the hair dryer come in every now and again, and that's because I'm impatient and I don't like to let things dry. Now, that being said, I don't have masking tape right now because I have children, so any tape is honestly a miracle. I'm using washi tape to hold down the corners, and I literally just have it taped on top of a sketchbook. And the heat makes the adhesive on the tape not stick. So throughout this painting process, if you're watching, you're gonna get to witness me literally fighting my paper and tape to stay the whole time. Needless to say, I won't be doing it this way again. I will still be using the washi tape just because it's like really fun. I don't know, I have a lot of washi tape, so does my kid. He just got a whole bunch for Christmas because I was trying to get him to stay out of my stuff, and it's not working. We got him a whole art setup, okay? He has an art desk, he has paints and papers, and his art desk is like one of the bougie ones that has the easel that comes up and it has a little stopper at the bottom so he can paint. Yeah, he doesn't care. He still wants to be in my studio messing with mommy's art supplies because they're moms, and it's more fun. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's because they see me using this stuff, but needless to say, we've had countless disasters in this studio. Currently looking at a bin of acrylic paint that's been completely poured out over the last few days by my children. They're just in that phase. Oop, there she is. There's the hairdryer. Oh my gosh. I think this is at the point where I flipped the breaker. Not the breaker, but like I have a power cord under my desk. This is so dumb. And sometimes I have too many things going at once and it flips it off. And I'm pretty sure this is what it happened because I was like, oh man, are you serious? There I go, fighting that paper. I'm actually going to take the edge of my paintbrush and I am just going to smush it as much against the edge of the paper painter's tape. No, sorry. I'm going to go around the edges at some point with a paintbrush, so be on the lookout for that. Here I am adding a more, that's that same yellow I used earlier underneath with that blue down there. This one just has more pigment. I used a different yellow on the antlers and the little teeny tiny little leg, which I think is so cute. Look at his little leg. I was just roughing in some shape. Honestly, I got a little impatient. I should have waited to add some of this yellow because it did make it harder in the end to like keep building up those blue tones and add details. And I think at some point I just had to stop fighting it. Here I am reshaping the wings because I thought they looked a little small and I did not like how angular this one was. So I just went in and I kind of like rounded them out. I like the way they rounded out. I think that they look nice. I think it looks like the front of the wing because the wing on the right is kind of weird, right? Like, it's like the bug is at an angle. The moth, not the bug. He's not a bug. He's a moth. He's different. My sister hates moths. I don't know why. She just hates them. Like, unapologetically, my sister hates moths. And it's so funny. Sorry, that was funny. I forgot what I was talking about. Look at me, feathering in color. I like to flick my brush. I pick one point and I kind of just flick, 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 flick. More flicking, flick, 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 flick. Yeah, that's looking good. I really am proud of the way this painting turned out. I tried a few new things. I don't really paint bugs. I dropped my paintbrush, and all I can say is, what was that? There was no reason for that. I'm so clumsy that I can't even hold a paintbrush right. I was going to paint a background in with green anyway, so I got lucky that I dropped blue on there because I was able just to wet it and go in with some yellow and make it a nice green, so it was able to blend in easier. Anyway, about my Mothra here, I think it's a he's absolutely gorgeous. I really like the rosy maple moths too, you know, the pink and yellow ones, but I feel like they're really like overdone and like a lot of people paint them. I've seen quite a few people paint them because they're beautiful. They're like not nature. I mean, they are. Obviously, it's a moth. We didn't make that moth. Here I go again, getting distracted by something. Honestly, I need to get better about editing these parts out. Here I am adding more yellow to the tips. I'm thinking about going through and on the tips of the wings where all of this yellow is, and it gets really bright at the end. Just keep watching how I build up these colors. That's all that watercolor is. It's build up, build up, build up, let it dry, add some more, let it dry, add some more. And if you're impatient like me, girl, go get your hairdryer. It's literally no big deal. I don't even use a hairdryer on my hair. That's because I have really straight hair and it doesn't take that long to dry and I don't really care to style it. I just don't. I'm going to throw it up in a bun or it's down and unbrushed. You can't change me. I'm literally so unhinged. Yeah, so anyway, what were we talking about? Yeah, girl, go get that hairdryer. It doesn't matter. I keep my hairdryer at my desk in my paint bin because that's all it gets used for. Sometimes my husband will use it to like hand wash some of his uniforms, because if you didn't know, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it 3 million times, but I'm going to continue to mention it because I'm proud. My husband is an active duty service member in the Army, and so like some of his uniforms are really particular and require like special care. We usually get him dry clean, but there are some times where he's like gotta scrub his boots because our children have I don't know so he he uses the hairdryer to dry some things when he has to clean them, like bags and his shoes and whatnot. But yeah, my hairdryer, it's literally sitting right here, right next to me. I got her a few years ago for this purpose. Look at that texture on that bug. Is not a bug, a moth. Oh my gosh, I'm the worst. Can you guys tell I smoked before recording this? 420 friendly, you know, whatever. Leave me a comment down below. I messed up on those big dots. That's kind of where I felt like things were starting to go downhill. I should not have added them this soon because I really like the texture of them and I like how opaque they are. But as you can see, I wasn't done building up the blues in the wing, so I have to like work around the yellow. I'm trying to make sure not to smudge it because I don't want it to turn green. Like, did you see that wing down in the bottom left? It turned green. So I said, okay, I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to go in on this side and I'm going to add more yellow on this side where I haven't touched it in a minute. Let's go add some on the body and we're going to really define these wings. You see, but I think adding some like a touch of gold paint on the edges with like a paint marker, I think it would just really make this pop. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments about that. I'm really in love with this painting. Like, everything went wrong, okay? I dropped my paintbrush. I tripped my switches breaker. I kept getting distracted. I was having a day over here. This isn't even my first time having to record this video. I say video, it's a voiceover. It's like a podcast. Also, I have officially decided we're doing one takes and I'm not going back. I'm gonna yap through this whole thing because I feel like my settings are like finally good. And I've already been yapping for 10 minutes and you're still here. So look at you go. I think you're painting too. What are you painting? Oh, really? That was beautiful. No, show me your painting. It's okay. You can hold it up to the screen and show me your painting. See? It's gorgeous. Gorgiani. A little bit of hype for y'all. Painting in the grass finally, getting that ugly green splotch covered up. Just going in with some darker colors, some lighter colors. It doesn't matter because I'm going to try something here in a minute that I feel like I should have waited for the painting to dry a little more. I should have hit it with my hairdryer just a little bit longer because I did hit it with my hairdryer and I thought it was dry because I checked multiple times. But then I started glazing parts of it. If you don't know what glazing is, it's where you take like, it's mostly water, like just a ton of water, and a little bit of pigment, or just enough pigment so that it's kind of pigmented, but it doesn't like, it's not gonna cover the whole painting like acrylic paint would. And you brush it gently on top. I don't know why I stopped painting that flower. That was a weird choice. I went and readjusted it, and then I moved on. I said, all done. And I ignored it. I added another flower, and I ignored it. Also, I'm just now realizing I did 3 flowers on each side. Cute, okay. But I kind of like the way it frames the wings of my Mothra. Sorry, I'm choking over here on air. I'm going in and I'm adding more leaves, just floofing them. I like a really fluffy daisy. I don't know what I was doing with this one. I just like I made it like a mushroom instead of a daisy, so that was weird. I'm gonna go back in and add leaves. I got a little carried away with that one. Turned out to be my favorite flower. Look at how gorgeous those leaves are. Just gonna go in and add leaves, so many leaves. Okay. What's next? What are we doing? I think we're going to add grass next. Anyway, what's up? It is super late here. Everyone in my house is asleep. Look, my color was wrong. So I went back and adjusted it, and it was still wrong. So I went back and adjusted it, and it was more right. But I had decided that I was ready to try glazing something. I have heard the word glazing so much lately in reference to like Amberlynn Reid. I don't know if you guys have been like keeping up with that shit show. Even if you don't know the name Amberlynn Reid, if you guys are on TikTok, do you remember the girl who's like, they gave me 2 chips when I asked for an apple? That's Amberlynn Reid, and she is so problematic. Like, she's problematic to the point where she got her YouTube channel deleted. And now she's like on Keemstar, which he's also a POS. Fucking at me, Keemstar, you POS. Whatever. Yeah, she's on his stupid show, getting paid by him, acting a fool. It's all scripted. It's all stupid and unbearable. And the hosts, because there's supposed to be 3 hosts, it's like podcast style, except all of the podcasters are really terrible people and have some really fucked up things. Here I am fighting the paper, BT dubs. If you needed to be told to look up, I was just fighting the paper. This is glazing. So, oh yeah, the word glazing. They've been using it in reference to Amberlynn Reid a lot. Like, oh, Scooter and Sweet Tea are glazing Amberlynn. Everyone's glazing it. I'm just so sick of that word glazing. But I don't even know what else to call it. Do you see how my greens smudged? I thought my greens were dry. I thought my reds were dry. I was so frustrated. But I said, you know what? We're just going to embrace the mess. Bob Ross once said, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. But you can see how saturated my paper is right there because it is literally water. Just a ton of water and some little pigment so that it like, I wanted it to look more like an evening scene and not so bright. So that's what I was going for with that, and I don't think I quite got there. I think we're close, okay? I think there's a couple more things that I need to perfect, but this was, like I said, my first time painting a moth, my first time trying this method. all things considered, I'm actually really happy with the way this piece turned out. I'm going to go back in and touch up these colors because you can see my greens here, my yellows, they all smudged into each other. Oh, I could have worked on the dots a little bit more too, added a little more orange, but my battery was dying for the second time during this recording. That's a little bit on me. I was feeling very sick of it, you know? But that's okay because next time I'll have more than 2 batteries charged up. I've currently got 1 on the charger because I can only charge them 1 at a time right now. Whatever, I'm new. I'm just getting set up. Quit bullying me. Are you guys still here? I feel like so many of you would have clicked out at this point. My engagement is not that high. So if you're still here, what up? What's your cat's name? Mine is Danny Boy, and then I got a kitten for Christmas, and his name is Galileo. I haven't had a kitten since Danny Boy, and he was a kitten in 2020, so it's been 6 years. Oh my gosh, kittens are insane. He loves me. He just loves me. He climbs up in my lap all the time. He sits at me at my office. He bites me, and I think it's so cute. I can't help it. I like when he bites me. I like his little teethers. I think they're cute. And I think it's because it doesn't hurt. Because if my bigger cat were to bite me, it would make me so mad. Because what are you doing, bro? But I've had this cat since he was a baby. And so he doesn't really bite. And the only time I've been bitten by Galileo is when we were playing, of course. At this point in the painting, this is the all is lost moment. This is where I'm like, gosh, I shouldn't have glazed it. I should have done the background first like I'm used to. But then I started adding this brighter yellow, and it made me feel like there was hope. Because I feel like with the smudged greens, going back through and adding this yellow on top actually did me a huge favor. So while in the moment, it kind of looked like it was messing me up, like in my view, looking back on it now, it actually looks kind of good. Like, why does that actually look so good? I'm trying to add more color here. Ooh. Anyway, I think it turned out really, really cool. Here I am using my hairdryer for the final time to make sure that it's completely dry before I take the tape off and sign it. If you are still watching at this point, thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!